What's going on, guys? It's the Lone Courier here, and today I am bringing you guys another top 5. Today we're going to be covering my top 5 Call of Duties. Now this just means like the top 5 Call of Duties that I have enjoyed playing the most, and the top 5 Call of Duties that I enjoyed the most. So it's not like community based or anything, you know, like what game is the most populated. It's more just a case of what games I preferred playing out of all of the Call of Duties. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into this top 5. So coming in at number 5 spot, we have Modern Warfare 2, or Call of Duty 6 Modern Warfare 2. It's by Infinity Ward, and I'm sure most of you have played Modern Warfare 2, and if you haven't, it's a shame. But you know, it's still a pretty active game nowadays. But the reasons why I enjoy playing this game the most is because it had a very cool campaign. Well, it was a very good campaign. I enjoyed it. It had a really good story to it, and it didn't really have any, you know, like generic story missions or anything. So yeah, it was a really good game. But at the same time, it had some really big problems with multiplayer and such. You know, like the stupid glitches and stupid bugs, like one-man army, noob tube danger close classes, and you know, that's just the kind of stuff that it was an insanely, let's just say, it was an insanely broken game. But it was still fun, to say the least. So, you know, that's why it only comes at number 5 spot. So yeah, coming in at the number 4 spot will come as a surprise, not really, to some people, and that is Advanced Warfare by Sledgehammer Games. Advanced Warfare is the last game in the series, and to be honest, it is probably the game I post the most, actually. Advanced Warfare, it's the Call of Duty that got me back into the series, I'm going to admit. Like, after Black Ops, well, I wouldn't even say it was after Black Ops 2, it was after Modern Warfare 3, I sort of fell out of Call of Duty, and I stopped playing them for a couple of years. But Advanced Warfare is the game that got me back into Call of Duty, and it was very fun when it came out. It's still fun nowadays, but you know, it's a really good game, had a really interesting campaign. I loved playing it, to be honest. It had Exo Zombies, Exo Survival, and you know, just some of the best times I had playing this game were Exo Survival with my friend Travis. You know, like we'd try and play to get to the highest rank we possibly could and always constantly fail. But you know, it's a really good game. I enjoy playing it, and you know, I would honestly say this is probably one of my favourite Call of Duties. But yeah, only at the number 4 spot because it had some stupid problems with the game overall. Coming in at the number 3 spot, we have World at War by Treyarch. World at War it's the last World War II Call of Duty in the series, and it's also the game that started off the Zombies series. Now, Zombies is probably one of the biggest reasons why people buy Treyarch games nowadays. You know, like obviously people are really interested in the multiplayer and the campaign, but let's be honest, the Zombies community is absolutely massive. There is no way about that, and you know, there's no two ways about saying it, but the Call of Duty Zombies community is one of the biggest communities in the whole game. You know, like it probably brings in more people than what the multiplayer does, because multiplayer is good to play, but you know, you need online. But Zombies, it's one of those things that you can just play whenever you want. So yeah, it's probably the reason why most people bought World at War, because World at War didn't really have good multiplayer or a really good story. It just had zombies, and that was probably my favourite thing about the game. You know, like I have so many memories of playing Nat and Troten, just trying to get to the highest round possible, camping in that one spot. You know, that one spot. If you've played Nat and Troten, you know that spot. And you know, you'd use stuff like MG42s, the Browning, just trying to last as long as you could. And so yeah, that's why it's at number 3. It's possibly one of my most favourite games out of the whole series. But number 3, because the campaign and the multiplayer weren't exactly the best. So yeah, coming in at the number 2 spot, we have Modern Warfare 1 or COD 4. And to be honest, this is a game that started it off for me. This is the game that got me into Call of Duty in the first place. And you know, it's just possibly one of my most favourite Call of Duty games ever. You know, like it had a great story, it had great multiplayer, and you know, it didn't really let down on multiplayer or campaign. You know, like the campaign was really good. It was really interesting and had a good story, and of course it was the first modern game in the franchise, so it took us out of a World War II setting and gave us this brand new fresh military shooter game that's got a really great story to it. And obviously it had some of the best multiplayer in the entire series, so there's no denying it. Call of Duty 4 was one of the best games in the entire series, and you know what, it's a shame that they haven't remastered it yet, because I would just love for there to be a remastered edition of Call of Duty 4, because it's possibly one of the best games ever. The whole community wants a remastered version of it, so I don't see why Activision just can't make it happen. But you know, it's probably just for money reasons and all these stupid reasons that they won't remaster it. But yeah, it's forever one of those games that we always want back. It's just amazing. So yeah, coming in at, well, actually right now we've got an honourable mention here, and that's going to be Black Ops 2. The only reason why it's an honourable mention and not in the top 5 is because I haven't played it as much as the other Call of Duties. I did play it a lot this winter, but I didn't really play it as much as the other games. You know, like every single other game on this list I have invested so much time into, like at least weeks. But Black Ops 2, you know, I've only got a few days into that game. So, you know, it's not exactly my most popular or favourite Call of Duty game ever, so that's why it's only an honourable mention. Alright, so we've only got one honourable mention here, so let's just get into the first spot. Coming in at the number 1 spot, we've got Black Ops 1 by Treyarch. Now, Black Ops 1, it wasn't exactly the best Call of Duty there was, but it was one of the most fun Call of Duties there was. And I would say I just remember this game because it's probably the game I was the most active during its life cycle, apart from Advanced Warfare obviously. But you know, I would say when Black Ops 1 was out, it was roughly 5 years ago actually. It's a bit scary in my opinion, because like 5 years ago, when Call of Duty Black Ops 1 was in its life cycle, I was in, well, it was 2010, so it was when I was at high school. Well, I'm still at high school, but it was when I was in like first or second year at high school, and I must have been like 12 at the time or something like that, 12 or 13 anyway. I just remember getting onto the bus every single day with my friend who got on at the same bus stop as me, and we'd always sit and talk about Call of Duty Black Ops 1, but we'd always talk about stuff like, you know, the new maps that are out, the new zombies map that's out, because, you know, we weren't exactly too much into multiplayer at the time. It was zombies. Zombies was the big thing back then for us. So, you know, we'd always get on the bus and we'd always be talking about how the new zombies map is, and he'd always get it a few days before me, because I didn't really have, like, there wasn't a season pass or anything back then, so the only time you got it was when you paid for it. So, you know, I would take a few days after it came out just to see if it was worth buying, and he'd always get on the bus and tell me it was worth buying. And I remember, like, it's just, some of my best memories were on that game, because, you know, it was such a fun game, and it just introduced a whole load of new things that people don't remember. You know, like split screen online co-op, that was introduced in Black Ops 1, and I remember that was one of the things that I had wanted so much from Call of Duty, and when it finally came in Black Ops 1, I was just unbelievably stoked for it. I was just absolutely hooked in the game. I'd always go over at my friend Connor's house, and we just play Black Ops 1 like non-stop for like a full day pretty much. So yeah, Black Ops 1 is probably one of my best and favourite Call of Duty games there is out there. It's a bit harder than some of the other Call of Duty games, especially for like sniping and such, but that's what makes it so much better in my opinion. And also Black Ops 1, it's the game that brought in so many of the new features that are still in the games nowadays. You know, like, it's the game that brought in, like, it's the game that started Nuketown, come on. Like, Nuketown is possibly one of the most celebrated maps in all Call of Duty right now, and it's probably one of the most fan favourite maps. And, you know, Black Ops 1 is the game that started that. But yeah, Black Ops 1 had a solid story, it had a really great multiplayer, and to be honest, zombies, oh, it was amazing in Black Ops 1. Even if the maps weren't that good, to be honest, it was still one of the best Call of Duties ever. You know, like Kino der Toten, best map. It had Ascension, such a good map. 5, not the best map, but really challenging and good and fun. And it also had, you know, obviously stuff like the I'd say it also had the remake of the World at War zombie maps, which is really cool to see it come back, because I had so much fun on those World at War zombie maps, and just for it to come back again is like, yes. You know, like, we get to play these maps again, but in better quality this time, because, you know, World at War knifing sucks in zombies, so it's cool to see it fixed for the Black Ops 1 version of those maps. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. If you enjoyed, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I appreciate the positive feedback so much, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I always appreciate the positive feedback. So yeah, if you want to see some more top 5s in the future, leave a comment and say you do. So yeah guys, it's been the Lone Courier, peace out.